Euthanasia for feral cats, compassion or cruelty. Euthanasia for feral cats is a highly controversial topic among animal welfare organizations and cat lovers. Feral cats are renowned, free-roaming cats that live in the wild and have no socialization with humans. They are often considered a nuisance due to their tendency to reproduce quickly and the potential for them to spread diseases. While some advocate for the trap-neuter-return TNR method to manage feral cat populations, others argue that euthanasia is a more humane and effective solution. This article will examine the arguments for and against euthanasia for feral cats, the ethical considerations surrounding this issue, and alternative approaches to managing feral cat populations. Understanding feral cats. Feral cats are renowned, free-roaming cats that live in the wild and have no socialization with humans. They are different from stray cats, which are domesticated cats that have been abandoned or lost and can often be socialized and rehomed. Feral cats are typically born in the wild, and their parents are also feral. As a result, they are not accustomed to human contact, are generally fearful of humans, and may exhibit aggressive behavior if cornered or threatened. Managing feral cat populations can be challenging, as they can reproduce quickly and are often seen as a nuisance due to their tendency to enter homes and cause damage. Additionally, feral cats can spread diseases to other animals and humans. Traditional methods of controlling feral cat populations, such as trapping and euthanasia, have been criticized for being inhumane and ineffective. However, some advocates argue that euthanasia may be a more humane option for feral cats that cannot be socialized and may suffer in the wild due to disease, injury, or starvation. It is important to note that the decision to euthanize feral cats should not be taken lightly, and alternative approaches such as trap-neuter-return TNR may be more effective in managing feral cat populations while also promoting their welfare. TER involves trapping feral cats, spaying or neutering them to prevent further breeding, and then releasing them back into their original habitat. This method can help stabilize the feral cat population and reduce the spread of disease without resorting to euthanasia. Ultimately, the best approach to managing feral cat populations will depend on local laws and regulations, community attitudes, and available resources. The euthanasia process. The euthanasia process for feral cats typically involves the use of injectable drugs that cause the cat to lose consciousness and then stop breathing and have a cardiac arrest. Euthanasia is usually performed by a trained professional, such as a veterinarian or an animal control officer. Safety precautions, such as using proper restraint techniques and personal protective equipment, are taken to minimize the risk of injury or disease transmission. There are laws and regulations in place regarding the euthanasia of animals, which vary by jurisdiction. In many places, euthanasia can only be performed by licensed professionals and must be done in a humane and ethical manner. Some jurisdictions require that the animal be sedated prior to euthanasia to minimize stress and discomfort. It is essential to ensure that the euthanasia process is done humanely and with minimal suffering. This includes using appropriate equipment and techniques to minimize pain and distress, as well as providing a calm and quiet environment. It is also important to consider the emotional impact on those involved in the process, including the person performing the euthanasia and any caregivers or observers. Some other alternatives. Here are some other alternatives to euthanasia for feral cats. Adoption. Feral cats that are socialized and able to be domesticated may be placed for adoption in homes where they can live as pets. However, it is important to note that not all feral cats can be successfully socialized and adopted. Relocation. In some cases, feral cats can be relocated to areas where they will be better suited, such as a barn or warehouse where they can help control rodent populations. Managed colonies. Some communities have established managed feral cat colonies where volunteers provide food, water, and shelter for the cats. These colonies are often monitored for disease and population control. Education. Education and outreach programs can help to educate the public about responsible pet ownership and the importance of spaying and neutering cats. This can help to reduce the number of feral cats over time. Overall, there are several alternatives to euthanasia for feral cats, and each option may be more appropriate depending on the specific situation. However, TNR programs remain one of the most effective and humane methods for managing feral cat populations.